beautifuls. Hi, Starlights. Good to see you, my members, as well as everybody joining us on the subscriptions, as well as everybody public. Welcome to 1111 True Crime, and we're still digging deep into the Jay Slater case. And unfortunately, we're not being given any information that we have no even proof that Jay went to Tenerife. I mean not Tenerife, Masca. We have no proof he went there alive. I'm looking at interviews. You guys are emailing me, telling me to look at Brad's eye. I'm looking at Brad's eye during the interview, and it does look like there's some color discoloration there. I put it through a little bit of testing and made it a black and white for myself and stuff, and altered the intensity of the colors to see if one eye was different. Now you got to remember there's difference in shading. Hi, Creta's sign. How are you, lovely? There's always, his face isn't going to be lit. Look at my face, right? Let's see. Can you see where this looks darker through here? But I have two light sources, one's further away. And so I'm not sure, but I'm like, I don't know. Maybe he does have discoloration around Brad's eye. I couldn't be sure. Hey, Sassy. Love you, darling. Hey, June. How are ya? Is it lighting that we're seeing? Like I said, look at the color difference between this eye, which I have a very close umbrella light to. That one is about 6 feet away, and it almost looks like I have bruising, but I don't. Keep in mind, I have eyeshadow on. Hey, Ro. Good to see you. I look forward to these morning times more than I ever thought I would, so I'm going to keep doing them. I would like to ask my beautiful members and the rest of the world as well, please say a prayer for one of our 1111 family members, Jenny Swain. You might know her as Jennifer Swain. She lost her husband after 30 plus years of marriage, and it's extremely difficult, I assure you. I can't imagine how she must feel, but we are keeping her in our heart. Is this American time or British time, 5:30? Gizmo? Well, for me, I'm in America. I'm in USA, and I'm in Wisconsin, and it's 11:33. So I'm not sure what time it is for you guys. Sassy's near me. She actually lives very close. Hey, Az. Good to see you, lovely. Good to see ya. So real quick, I just want to get into something. So, like I said, Brad's eye is questionable. It's not real distinct. I can't say for sure if it's the lighting, but I had to pause and look. And then we have Lucy with her back turned to the camera during the interview, so she won't show her face, and now I'm really questioning more as to why. Then we have Ayub talking about playing a little too rough, if you get me. And that Brandon Haji had bruising, right? Bruising. But we never saw him either. So the only one of Jay's friends, after he goes missing, that we see the face of, is Brad. It's 18:30 p.m. What? I don't even know how to read that, lovely. Maybe that's Belgium. You say it's Belgium. Hey, Gizmo, Gizmo. Good to see you, lovely. So that really bothers me that we're not seeing these faces. I'm talking about this getting a little rough while playing. We have this whole thing about a cactus. Cut by a cactus. Cut by a cactus. No, I just can't. Y'all, who says that word with a cactus? Stuck, poked, injured, hurt, cut? Was it foreshadowing that, there were cuts to be found on Jay? And if so, is that why they waited 29 days to anonymously tip off where his body would be found? What do you guys think? Gizmo, you're from Britain? Oh, it's 6:30 p.m. in Belgium? I never know with language because I can barely speak English. I get told that every day. By one, it's always like a commenter below is like, you said this word wrong. It's this word. This is how you say it. You don't say crayon. You say crayon. And so I had to unsubscribe. I'm like, okay, sorry, I don't know how to help you. I'm certainly not perfect. Credesign says, my thought was fighting it out. And then, now that you say that, it makes me think of, let me get more in the center. Whoo, it just shook the whole world. The two knives, the alleged story, the rumor, because everything's rumor in every case we work, because we don't even know if the cops are telling it, that law enforcement could be lying to us. That's their right. So, two knives were rumored that Jay allegedly took with him because he was fearful. And then you have, he can't go back to the Airbnb, but he pushes into the mountains. As says, I think it's always suspicious when people wait more than 24 to 48 hours. You know what I find suspicious is the GoFundMe. Instantly. Lucy started that. That bothers me in this case. Not just the same day, but early in the day, right? Your friend goes missing. You're not sure where he is. It's the very first day. You're probably pretty panicked. Do you decide to get on your computer and be like, you know what? I'm going to start a GoFundMe, and if he gets found later today, we'll be able to take him for supper. You got time to do that? When your friend is missing and you're one of the last that allegedly saw him leave his last proof of life, remember, we have nothing but Ayub at this point that even puts Jay at that Airbnb. Oh, you could say the mayor's wife put him there, but she had her back to the camera. For all we know, it was a cleaning lady that said, I never seen him. We don't know. It all looks staged. It didn't feel right. So we really don't have any proof that Jay ever made it to Masca. And y'all can have all the opinions you want, but there is no way on God's green earth you're going to convince a lot of us that this anonymous person was hiking and smelt something. And so that's why. Because they had to rappel with ropes to get down there. They had to use a helicopter to get him back. We have a huge covering of trees in that area. How would a hiker even have got to him? They explained. If a hiker could have got to him, then why wasn't Jay? I mean, I can't. It doesn't work. A banana and an apple makes fruit salad. But when you try to tell me that a banana and an apple make a cheeseburger, none of us are going to be like, okay, let me see how we can work that out. Jay wasn't found by scent dogs on any of those trails. So how'd the hiker all of a sudden be like, I got a better dog nose. I'm better than a dog nose. And to that one poster that went off on this, y'all don't know anything about dogs. See, dogs go by what ground is rearranged, and they track by visually what they see. No. We all know that's just absolutely ludicrous. The dogs, including there are dogs used to track substance, and it isn't because of some trace evidence left behind that the dog visually saw. It's because of scent. That's why they're called a scent dog. You tater tot. That just blew my mind. I mean, I get some comments that are incredible. 99% of them are, you guys are telling me what you think, your opinion, and I love it. But I always get that one tater tot that's like, nope, you're wrong. Yep, the dog don't smell nothing. That's why the hiker could find him. And I'm like, okay, Peter Pan. It just blew my mind. And then to have, let's go back to the Lucy thing. Yeah, here we go. As says, do we have a Lucy in the sky with the diamonds here? Lucy in the sky with the diamonds. I don't even know that song. I think I heard it. I'm just saying. You want us to believe that this 19-year-old that wouldn't walk a block to get his hair cut decided to just randomly take off into the vast wilderness of a volcanic island and go for whatever miles it is to this sheer cliff where he's going to jump off, 100 feet down into the ocean and just swim back to the party and be like, hey, yeah, I didn't want to take a cab, so I went on a, absolute life-threatening marathon. Y'all, the guy on YouTube, I don't know his name. He walked from the Airbnb down the road. He walked it in maybe 20, 30 minutes. He may have edited a little. In the middle of the morning, about that time, to the little gift shop. It has glass curved fronts with all the chairs and the little counters, probably with the maps, right? Cement little walkway with all the little railings that lead you way down. And the guy walked all the way down there. He's like, Jay's phone pinged somewhere around here. And I never understood that, because why are we getting this phone pinged over there? There's no place to put a stake in the ground as to what is true and what is not true, because of this was not handled as an investigation. It just wasn't. And that's usually the case in missing person, foul play. That's why we as a society got to get better at understanding that if somebody is missing, if they've been waited to report the time frame, so it was 48 hours in America for a normal person. Maybe it's 24 in your county. I don't know. Maybe it's 72. Whatever the waiting time frame is that you can legally report that person missing. That little time alone, if they were going to be found, was the most vital time there was. So why are we waiting so long? Now, I know if it's a child, you can alert right away. I get that. There's all kinds of different laws. I don't need to hear your law. I get it. My point being, by the time the person is reported missing, there could be foul play. It's a 50-50. We don't know. So why is it not treated immediately? A task force that goes out for the missing part and a task force that goes out on the, forensic study collecting DNA, collecting, any evidence in the last known place, taking interviews, canvassing the area for any cameras. Why are we waiting so long to, couple weeks? Let's go back to that Airbnb and see if anybody stayed there or if there could be some evidence on Jay. Please stop. There's nothing left. The room's been swiped and painted. Is it done intentional? I don't know. But it's driving me crazy. Correcting someone's pronunciation on things must give the ego boost they needed. See ya. Don't let Billy give you the extra boot. Where is Billy? We got Billy, sassy. Are you ready for Billy? This is when we've had too many tater tots, where they're getting to us because they're like not nice. One in about 1,000 people is somebody that's like, you need to do your hair a different color. That's too red. So true. Gizmo asks, do you think he was what? Let me start that over. Do you think he was only pushed there than day before? Pushed or put? I don't know. I guess the question is this. Do you think the Spains rehydrated his fingerprints? That's the question. The second question would be, how did the expert scent and cadaver dogs not pick up on Jay's scent at all? But then later, after he was found, it was researched by dogs from a different team, and they did find it. See, the scent's only going to get weaker. So, it would logically, to me, there isn't a scent prior. Jay is found. They bring the dogs back in, and now they can find the scent. It's almost, to me, if I was somebody that was investigating this seriously, I would have a lot of suspicion based on that. And the video with the flies all over the door at the Airbnb kind of looked like The Shining. It was really creepy. I can't let that go. You love Billy the Goat, June? You agree, Gizmo? As says, kids these days aren't scared enough. Blows my mind. I think, y'all, this is going to be a room splitter on opinion, but it don't matter because all opinions are our own, right? That's all they are. I disagree a lot. I do. Like, when I was younger, my parents would have thought I was insane if they knew the crap I was doing and how much risk I put myself in. And I was very blessed to be protected. So I was a single girl. I was a hot little number back then. I mean, really cute. 110 pound, blessed on top. And I was a natural dishwater blonde, big blue eyes, tan. I was a hot little hottie, if they call it, or baddie or whatever. I'd go to parties with a friend who would disappear and leave me in the middle of the party in a random town. And I would just find some hot guy and be like, hey, can you give me a ride home on your motorcycle? And he'd be like, yeah. And one time a guy took me on his motorcycle, not to my home, but back to his house. And I didn't even know we were headed that way because I didn't know where we were at the party. And I was like, where are we going? He's like, well, you're really far away from home. You're going to have to crash at my house. And I was like, oh, shite. We get to his house. His wife comes out. She made me eggs and bacon and toast and gave me a little talking to. And she was like, you realize you could be dead right now if he was not the gentleman, like has his own kids? You know, and I sobered up real quick. I was 16 years old. And in the morning, she drove me back and wanted to talk to my parents. My parents didn't give a crap because I didn't have those kind of parents that cared. So what our kids do now isn't far off from what some of us were doing. The difference is we have a world now that we don't have the nice gentleman that's going to take you back and have a talking to, and or let his wife give a talking to you. Right? And unfortunately, that guy would be a serial or a psycho or something like that. And we'd be like, oh, okay, we're missing a little hottie here. She was 16, left an unknown location with friends that ditched her. Nobody's seen her. She left last on a bike. And that's the world we have today. I know, right? It's shocking. I could tell you guys stories like that for days because I was innocent. I didn't know that there were really, really bad people. I had always just kind of floated through trouble untouched. And to this day, I can say I've never as a child, was truly harmed. But we do have all these kids out here now. We have a mother, y'all. I couldn't even cover the story. This is so traumatic. Beautiful little girl. Mother seemed normal. Dad's in the hospital. Fighting for his life. Stress level is out the roof, right? The mother is having a problem mentally and she can't get the child to be quiet. So she walked her, this is recently, she walked her across the street, this child, this little blonde-haired cutie, to the pond, and physically, last breath right there under the water. Say no more. That's going on. Okay, I get you, Az. Thank you, love. You said, sorry, I should clarify. I'm talking about these traveling to these destination raves and trusting the rugs. Sadly, times have changed since we were younger. I thank God I went through my youth already. I am so with you. I'm so glad it's over. Oh, to be young again and dumb, right? Because we're all young and dumb. That's what you are. It's not dumb as in you can't learn, but we just are innocent. We don't know. And we do dumb stuff. Kids do dumb stuff. My kids do dumb stuff still. And it's not that they're dumb people. It's just they're not thinking. Right, as we were wild back then. Sassy says, I was the same way. I look back on my high school years and cannot believe how protected I was. Lots of parties, too. And the parties are different nowadays, right? Just like as the same. We went out and there was no meth. There was no crack. There was no horribleness. It was just literally us going to a pit to drink alcohol and do dumb shit. And really do dumb things. Like, can you do, some guy coming through doing a naked cartwheel with just boots on, right? And then we were like, oh my God, when we got to school. And that was about it. We really didn't have the tragedies and the temptation to try these horrific substances. Hey, Debbie, how are you doing? But then you've got people nowadays doing this where they're booking their first holiday with their friends, allegedly, which is up for discussion, as everything in the Jay Slater case. And these kids are taking off to do some hardcore partying where, in many cases, they don't make it. they don't come out of it. And I have a hard time understanding how they're friends in a lot of these cases. The Riley Strain case, the Kylie Rodney case, and now the Jay Slater case. These friends, or even Caleb Harris to an extent, like the friends kind of didn't know what happened in that, but I think there's more to the story. That's my humble opinion. But in these cases, we have these massive parties go down and then somebody ends up alive, and there's no accountability. And in the Kylie Rodney case, they came right out and said, we don't even care about rugs. We just want to know where the child is. There will be no booking for rugs. There will be no booking for this or that. We don't care about that. Just tell us where the child is. And that still didn't produce the kid, the 16-year-old. And then she was found that she was driving from the trunk of her car. Yeah, she drove her car into the water, under the water, and was in the trunk of in the boot of the vehicle. But nothing to see her move along in that case. Gizmo says, I believe Jay didn't really want to go to his parents. Said, I believe he was lured by Lucy. It does make you wonder. Okay, so the rumor that Jay's packing knives to the rumor that he can't go back to the Airbnb, and then the fact that he's found DEAD over a ravine, if you just add that all up, it don't smell right. And then to have a hiker smell him, but the dogs couldn't. So if the hiker did find him, was Jay just put there? Okay, I'll give you that. All right, so a hiker found him, however that is. The reason I didn't believe that is because nobody found him before that, but the hiker did. To me, that the only way I can make it make sense is to say he couldn't have been there before. The dogs didn't find him before. The dogs didn't pick up the scent before. The experts didn't find him before. Nothing. And now a common hiker goes through there, smells him, calls a tip in. Okay. Then, in my humble opinion, I would have to say the body just arrived. And it does beg the question, if they're able to get fingerprints, how long had he been passed away? Sassy says, yes, the risk of rugs being laced for this younger generation is so scary. Even the pot is risky. You don't believe it, Gizmo? Gizmo says, I don't believe that they, you don't believe that? They did say Guardia found him? There, and are we ever going to know? The question is, are we ever going to know the actual truth? A lot of people ask me, do you think that the UK will investigate? If the parents decide to push and push hard, I believe there would be an investigation further into it. After whatever you call it, the repatriation, I'm not sure. I'm unfamiliar with the whole process, the paperwork and everything too. Why would Lucy have started that GoFundMe that soon? What was the point of that? Really? The very day you go set up a GoFundMe? That brings so many questions as to what was the money actually originally for. No dogs smelling him beforehand, no experts finding him, no searchers or hikers finding him, smelling him, no birds, no scavengers, nothing. Then the hiker all of a sudden can find him. All of a sudden the dogs can track him, and they get the fingerprints off of him after 4 days. I just don't get that the Spains are going to rehydrate like some CSI the body to get the fingerprints. I just don't buy it. I don't care how far you walk in the dark. I don't buy that's what they did. I believe there would be a lot more to the process than rehydrating. Remember, the body doesn't just drain out some moisture and shrink up and shrivel. It also literally decomposes, right? Think of Brian Laundrie. Yes, he was in water, warm water. But there was nothing left but skeleton in 3 weeks. You weren't going to be rehydrating him. For the rug money owing Gizmo. And that's the thing. If all these kids have their backs to the camera, or not, I shouldn't say it that way. If Lucy has her back to the camera, why isn't she showing her face? And number 2, Brad, does he have something wrong over here? Is there some over here? Is there some discoloration, or is it shadows? Questionable. And then we have Brandon. Now, you guys, I have been hearing rumors that Brandon lives in Tenerife. Is that true? Somebody tell me. Is that true? Because if Brandon lives in Tenerife, so does Lucy. That would really make it, like, why hadn't I heard that before? So, I really do feel like there's a lot more questions than answers, as always. I feel like there is a lot to dig into if the parents choose to. I think just getting Jay's body returned to the UK will be a good start. And for all of those out there, there was a handful of you that are like, where are you getting this information that they're keeping the body from the family and all this? And they're turning him in today. Well, that was a week ago when you said all that, and the family still doesn't have Jay's body when I'm airing this right now. They're still fighting to get the body released as of right now when I'm filming this. So you're wrong. Just saying. But I'm sure it will be released. And I can't wait to see, will dental records be compared? That's what needs to happen. Dental records and DNA. You got the parents. I have no doubt that the mother, the mitochondrial DNA, would be provided absolutely readily by the mother. I have no doubt. But I also do believe that that is Jay. My question, and a lot of people, I'm certainly not alone, is how did Jay really pass over? Could he have cuts, right? Could there have been a true hoedown with the blade? And could it have been that there was some roughing up of a couple of the boys to get out the truth as to where they're short on rugs or a watch or whatever? And could that be true? Like Ayub was saying, he got playfully rough with Brandon, and Brandon had bruises, all right? Right here. How playfully rough did Ayub get with Jay? I'm just asking. Okay, you heard Lucy's parents have an apartment there. That's what I've heard too. All right, my lovely Luz, I appreciate this time with you. And I appreciate all my Starlights so much. Thank you for supporting the channel, allowing me to keep the channel free. Thank you for viewing if you were watching replay or if you were watching the live. I greatly appreciate it. Make sure and tune in again. Hit that bell and the subscribe and all that good stuff. Most important button for me is the like button, because that at least lets YouTube know that you appreciate my content and you support it and you would like to continue to see more. I thank you. Now, for those of you that waited patiently to the end, we are ever so wonderfully getting closer to 30,000 subs. So after the live is done, it won't work in live chat, but after the live is complete and it is a replay, put in the comments down below. Do you see this beautiful camera? Somebody said it looks hard to work. It's got 4 buttons. That's it. Look. Isn't that beautiful? I feel like Vanna White. DVC giveaway. It's got 4 buttons. That's it. Right? Sorry. Sorry about that cough. I'm trying to see how I can show you. There you go. It's really easy to use. And the mic is detachable. You can take off the front if you want. This is a wide angle version. And, oh, it does have a couple buttons on here for, you know, taking a quick shot where you just want a picture, you want to do a video camera. So DVC giveaway for all those subscribers that would like a chance to win that. When I hit 30,000, I'm going to type in DVC giveaway and filter in just subscribers, and I'm going to pick one lucky person, no matter who you are, that's going to win that camera. And I'm excited to give that away. Also, if you're into paranormal research, we have 1111 Crime Story today. I did a reading on Jay Slater. Check it out. It's interesting, and it says a lot about these friends because it narrowed down enough information for me to really look at one particular friend, and I'll leave that for you to find out. All right, my lovelies. I appreciated this time. I enjoyed it very, very much, and I look forward to doing the members live again next Monday. However, we'll be back with everybody tomorrow. I love ya. Hold on. I love ya. To the moon and back.